put yourself on mute so that your background noise in your house is not disturbing everyone who's listening to me. And I put the recorder on, so you should see that is happening. And if you need to, if you want to request a recording of today's class, you can email help@getsetup.io. And I hope that you're receiving the notes after the class. I do try and make sure that the notes are correct and that they are appropriate for the class that we just had. So with that, for those of you who are regulars and come every day, you know that I have some housekeeping notes that GetSetup would like me to share with you. So while I do that, and you've heard it before, go ahead and grab your water, get a chair handy if you need that to assist with some of the balance challenges that we're going to do today. And I will review. GetSetup's mission is to create economic opportunities for seniors to help them learn the tools and skills needed to stay connected and live healthy lives. There's no financial relationship with any products shown or discussed in our classes. And as always, please check with your doctor before starting or engaging in any fitness or exercise program, especially if you have any health conditions or take any medications. And finally, if your doctor has given you some limitations or restrictions regarding range of motion because of any prior injuries you may have had, or anything else that's going on with you, any restrictions regarding the exertion level that you put out during a class or range of motion, please follow your doctor's recommendations, not anything that I am doing or demonstrating. I will do my best to show modifications appropriate for everyone. And I hope that you find that helpful as we go through this class. All right. Hey, Chris, thanks for that note. I did mention muting. So again, finally, reminder, just go ahead and make sure that you are muted, and we're going to go ahead and get started this morning. This is a balance and flexibility class this morning, and we're going to just start with our little warm up. I'm going to put my chair to the side so I have a little bit more room, and we're going to start our warm up with just some walking in place. Gentle walking, we can get our whole body into that with just some gentle movement. My arms are just kind of doing a walking movement or a marching right here by my side. Not a whole lot going on with that. We are going to slowly open our legs to a little bit of a wider position. We're starting to activate our hips and our quadriceps muscles as we have a wider stance. Bring your legs back in together. Do a little bit of something, something with your arms. And let's take our legs wide and bring them back in together. As you're doing this too, I want you to start feeling your hips a little bit. Hips can be tight and uncomfortable, so test out yours. Are they loose? Can you go a little bit side to side with your hips? And let's take the legs wide. And bring your legs in together. And now we're going to step apart together. So it looks like this. Apart, together, apart, together, apart, together. One more, apart, together, and march. Let's shake out our hands a little bit, waking up our arms and our elbows and our shoulders. Wide stance. Bring the legs in together. And 4 apart togethers. Here we go. And out, out, in, apart, together, apart, together. Last one right here. March in place. And let's take those feet wide. And let's hold right here and bounce and rock side to side. You find your own pace. My knees are softly bent, but I'm not going too low. Not really doing anything with my arms yet, but I am going to add a reach across, just like this. Gently reaching across. My arms are right about at my chest height. All right, let's go back to just holding in place. And bring your feet back in together. Let's hold this march while we talk about lifting our chest and diaphragm, having space between the bottom of your rib cage and the top of your hip bones, breathing at a normal and natural rhythm and pace, and keeping that core engaged. So when we talk about the core, we think everything connected to the spine. And we do a core intensive workout on Mondays, but that's to set us up for the week, because all week long, no matter which exercise focus we're doing, you should be making sure that your core muscles are engaged. All right, let's take those legs wide apart again. Bring them in together. Let's go apart together for 4. Out, out, in. Here's number 2. Here's number 3 and 4. March in place. Feel your hips. Are they moving? Do you have some flexibility here in your lower spine? Let's test that out a little bit. We're going to hold right here, and I'm going to just ask you to take your hips to the right and left. Right and left. There's a soft bend in my knees here. Right and left. Right and left. And I have my hips are moving to the right and left in a flat plane, in a lateral plane. They're just going to the right and the left. Now here, we're going to go to the diagonal. So let's take right hip to the right corner of your room and left hip up to the left corner. Right corner, left corner, right corner, left corner. Soft break in the knees, but I want you to think about right corner and left corner with those hip bones. Why are we doing this? Let's come back to a little bit of a march. Some of the issues with lower back pain are related to 2 things: lack of flexibility and lack of mobility. So we become very fixed in our lower body as we age, and our hips hurt, and we don't want to do things, we don't want to move them, but we do become, there's a lack of mobility in our hip region. So we're just sort of trying to test that out today and see how your hips feel. Let's take our legs apart just a little bit, and let's do those hips side to side in a flat plane. And then we did corners of the room, but now I want you to make little circles. When you make a little circle, it's as if you are drawing a circle on the floor with your hips. Nothing too big, just keep it small, but notice whether you have any points that don't move slow or smoothly. It's like you're stirring a pot here. Stir in the pot. And we're going to reverse direction. Now, for me, I notice that when I go and make these little circles in one direction, I can do it pretty smoothly. But when I reverse the direction and go the other way, it feels like it sticks in some spot, like it doesn't move smoothly, as if I were stirring around a bowl and it gets stuck. So as I do these very small circles, it does become a little bit more smoothly as I do them. Relax and march. Nice job. Take the feet wide. Bring them back together. Apart. Together. Take them wide. And let's hold right here. Take a soft bend to your knees. And we're going to go side to side. Elbow reaching down toward your knees. Now this is a small movement, nothing too large. Maintain a flat plane with your torso facing forward. So we're not twisting right now. We are going simply side to side. Elbow goes right over toward your hips. Soft break in the knees. And now we're going to hold as we go over to the right here. Take your right hand on your thigh. Left hand reaches up and over. Getting a nice long stretch right along this part of the body. Release. And let's go to the other side. Hand here as a brace. Lift up and over. Feel that stretch. Your elbow should be approximately up over your ear, not like covering your face, not too far back, just right here overhead. And reach and return to center. All right.
People mute themselves, please.
Take our left hand right up here by the side of your head, and we're going to take our pinky and just slide it down toward the knee and back up. Slide it down to the knee and back up. Again, this is a very small movement. Keep it comfortable for you.
Is that someone talking, Stacy?
Yeah, someone's talking in the background. Is very
Please be sure your microphones are muted on your Zoom camera. It's down in your lower left-hand corner. There's a little icon of a microphone. You want it to have a red line through it. Thank you.
Please.
All right, last one. Bring that elbow down. And remember, pinky is going down toward your knee, other arm up, right behind the head, and reach your pinky down toward your knee. Very nice, small movement. And focus on keeping your rib cage apart from your hip bones. As long as there's space in here, your core is braced. And that's what we want, to protect the lower back as we are doing these exercises.
You still can hear him talking, Stacy.
Yeah, can you mute everybody, please?
Mute.
I look at me and you.
Don't know where mute everyone is, you guys.
I think you can put your name with your name in.
I think
over
it's under participants.
over your
participants button.
Go to
Bottom of that.
participants.
Participants, nope, that says invite. Wait,
Wait.
click on that.
Are you
Manage.
host? You should be host. And
Here,
then,
mute all, hang on.
Yeah. Go
Got
to
it.
host.
Mute all and you.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we got it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yep, got it.
I can't make that go away.
I think somebody's television was on.
Ah, there we go. There we go. All right, sorry about that. All right, let's go back to marching so I can remember where we were. All right, let's take our legs apart just slightly, and we're going to reach up overhead and down. Body facing forward, we are not bending over. Reach up and down. Just up and down. Now we're going to add a little bit of a deeper knee bend. So when we reach up, stretch your legs long. And when we reach down, let's do a gentle break with the knees. Reach up, soft break in the knees. Reach up, soft break in the knees. Nice and long. Down, reach up, down, lift and lower, lift and lower. Both arms are going to stay up right now, and your legs are reaching, your legs are long, knees are straight. we're gonna just stretch up overhead with one arm and then the other, like you're reaching for the ceiling. And you're feeling that right here. As you reach each way, you'll feel a little stretch from your armpit to your hip bone. So right, left, reach tall, reach tall. Now let's take a soft break to the knees, and I want you to reach right side, down, and left side, down. So just right and left, but you know what? I don't want your upper body to move. So we're not doing this. We are stationary as we reach. Right and left. Now let's take this up here in front, right here out from the shoulders. And now we're going to take it overhead in rainbow arms, up here, over to the side, and over to the side. Bringing it back down to the midline of the body, right here, out from your shoulders or chest area, side to side. And as always, your modification would be a smaller movement, not fully extended arms. And let's take it low. And now we are going to add the upper body movement. So let's go to the right and left, but I want you to keep your heels on the floor. So keep this movement small, wherever it's comfortable for you. There's a soft break in the knees. Midline. Now this one provides a twist, doesn't it? So we're doing just a little bit of a twisting or spiral motion, and you're going to feel that along the sides of your waist in your internal and external oblique muscles that run along the side of your waist between your rib cage and your hip bones. And rainbow arms. Again, soft movement of the upper body, feeling that space between your pelvic bones and your lower ribs. And release. Inhale up and down. Let's grab that chair. All right, first exercise that we're going to do is backing up from the chair so your arm is fully extended like this. And we're going to just take a good morning forward and up. So we do good mornings in a lot of my classes, in the seated classes, but this is a nice way to do them in a supported way, standing. So we have the chair here, and you can make this movement as small as you need. So let's break it down. There's a soft break in the knees, and as you go forward, your upper body remains in a neutral spine. That means it's neither arched nor curved forward, but it is straight. And as you go forward, your tailbone points to the opposite wall. So you see how it just moves slightly back, and then I come back up. So when we do this in the seated position on Mondays and Wednesdays, we are not experiencing the full body benefit of this exercise. And you can keep it nice and small. Just remember to keep the correct alignment as I have described. Most important is the neutral spine. And let's take it down. Step back a little bit so you're able to reach forward onto the chair. Keep your head above your shoulders just slightly. It's called head above the heart. And we're going to round the back in our cat back stretch. Round, release, and stretch long, lifting the head and pointing the tailbone toward the back wall in a very gentle arch. This is the cow stretch. So round up into cat, pulling the abdominal muscles in toward the spine, making a nice round back here. And release, go through neutral spine and into cow, where your head is slightly lifted and your tailbone points to the back wall. And again, round, curving the spine inward, belly button up toward the spine. Nice round back stretch. Back through neutral spine and into your cow position. Tailbone toward the back wall, head is lifted. And you would be looking forward. I'm trying to look at the camera so you can hear my voice. And back up to neutral. Let's turn and face forward. Choose which hand you have on your chair. We are going to do some side leg lifts. Actually, we're going to do forward and side, but let's start with just side. So we are standing with our feet about a shoulder width apart, and we're going to take our outside leg, the one away from the chair, and we're going to just lift it slightly up off the floor. This is not about height. This is about hip mobility. So we are lifting and lowering. It is a smooth lift and lower. We're going to take it at about the same pace as we go up and down, lift and lower. Now, as you're doing this, focus on that standing leg. Pull up nice and tall through this side of the body. The tendency is to kind of slump into that hip, and we want to make sure that is not happening, because even though we're moving this leg, you will find that the tension becomes prominent in your standing leg. That's the leg that is supporting your whole body weight. So you're going to actually feel that more. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. And now we're going to take this same exercise forward. So the foot is flexed. Can you see that? If I step back, my toes are up. So I'm just lifting just forward, just a little bit, but I'm pulling up through the leg that is my foundation, the standing leg. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. A couple more to the front. And then we're going to turn toward the chair, and we're going to do these lifts to the rear. Straight leg, same leg. And again, it's not about height. Be sure the standing leg is pulled up nice and tight and tall. Keep your torso upright so you're not rocking. We don't want this happening. Just lift and lower, lift and lower. Smooth movement as you lift and lower at about the same pace. And release. Same side, we're going to take the inside leg, lift the leg just off the floor. If you can hold your leg up at your knee or right here at your ankle, either one is good, but we're doing a little bit of a balance challenge with one leg off the floor. Can you hold that and lift both hands? Your chair is right here if you need it, or for those of you who've opted to be by a wall, so you can just grab on if you need to, but see if you can just hold that position. You're on one leg. For me, or facing you, this would be your right leg. If you're with me doing that same side, your weight is now on the leg that we just worked, right? And the leg we were standing on is the one that we have just lifted slightly off the floor, and we are just testing our balance here. So nice hold. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put that leg back down, and we're going to work on the other side. So I move my chair around. I'm going to get nice and firm on the foundation of my standing leg, the one closest to the chair. I'm going to take my outside leg, and I'm going to do those very little side lifts. So I lift and lower, my foot is flexed, and my leg is going in one smooth plane out to the side and back in, bringing my ankles in together. And again, this can be a very small movement. It's not about, how big it is or anything. It's just right here, nice and small. You're feeling it on the standing leg, pulled up nice and tall. I feel it right in the side of my booty there, because that's where the foundation is. Couple more here to the side, and then we're going to lift to the front. All right, and here we go. Foot is flexed, just slightly lifting off the floor. Can you see if I step back a little bit? Lifting. Keeping it small, nice and smooth. And now we're going to turn and we're going to lift to the rear. Straight up behind. Notice what I did there. I'm feeling it in my standing leg. So I just took a little step here, which kind of released my hip. I don't want to make anybody's hips cramp, but we have been standing on that leg for a while, and you're probably feeling it right around your hip area. And let's stop, face me, lift the inside legs just off the floor. I have my foot right here around my ankle area, so my knee is just bent slightly, but I'm going to test my balance right here, holding my weight or my balance on one leg with the chair right here to grab onto if I need to do that, like that. We're all working on this balance. You may notice that one side is a little better at this than the other. That's normal and natural, and that's why we check it. Excellent. All right, we're going to put the chair to the side for a second. We're going to do our little Charleston, if you remember that. I have my chair here, so I'm holding with my left hand. I'm going to step left, kick right, step together, and reach behind with my left foot. So step, kick, step, and reach. Step, kick, step, and reach. Let's add the arms. So I'm reaching here overhead, and I reach down when my leg goes behind. Reach up, together, down, together. Up, together, down, together. Up, together, back, and up. Let's do two more. Kick front, step together, reach to the back, step together. Last one. Kick, step, back, and down. Let's take the outside leg around to the back. Okay, just want to turn so you can see me here. And we're going to do a double leg bend. So both knees bend just slightly and back up. We have the chair here or the wall to hold on to as we take an easy bend and straighten. Try to keep your weight centered between both legs. So both knees bend at about the same amount, and it's a very soft break. Soft bend to the knees. Down and up. Two more. And here's the last one, and I want you to hold low. Front knee is bent, back knee is bent, your weight is centered, and we're going to just take the heel down and up. Down and up. Heel down and up. We're getting a slight stretch now through the calf muscles. Heel down and up. Down and up. And now we're going to hold back with this leg is straight, heel is down. We're going to rock our weight back onto this back leg, bending the knee, keep the heel down, and now the front leg, we're going to do our toes, lift and lower. I don't know if you can see my feet here. Toes up and down, up and down. Toes up and down while my heel is stationary on the floor. Toes up and down. Toes up and down, up and down. 2 more, up, down, last one. Let's do this whole Charleston routine and stretch to the other side. I'm gonna move my chair. I think like this will work. All right, so stepping with the foot that's closest to the chair. This is probably, if you're with me, it's gonna be your right step, kick left, step together, and step back and touch. So forward, together, back and touch. Adding arms, reach and lower. Reach tall, reach down. Reach tall, reach down, up and back. Reach up and back, lift and back. 2 more, reach, back, reach, back, and together. Take that outside leg around to the back. We're gonna bend both knees slightly, center the weight between both legs, and we're gonna just take a double knee bend and straighten. Double knee bend and straighten. Double knee bend and straighten. Let's take that down and up. 4 more. Remember to keep your weight centered. If you are comfortable with a balance challenge here, let go of the chair. And you can just go down and up, straight down and straight up. Torso is lifted, shoulders down, and you are breathing in a natural rhythm, down and up. Here's the last one. Hold down here. And I want you to just take your heel on that outside leg and press the heel down, straightening the leg and release. Straighten and release. Heel down and in, heel down and in, heel down, and 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Hold right here. Let's shift your weight back over that leg, lifting the toes on your inside leg, and just press your foot down and up. Toes down and up, toes down and up, toes down, up, down, up, toes down and up, toes down and up. 2 more. Up and down. Last one. Shake it out. A little bit of march right here. Next exercise, we're going to do some gentle squats and heel raises. I'm going to show you some options. You can face the chair to have a lot of support, or you can do one hand on the chair, or if your balance is really good, you can do it without the chair. I'm going to hold on today. And what we want to do is take our feet, our heels are about a shoulder width apart, and our toes are about 45 degrees facing into the corners of the room. And we're going to take a soft break with our knees and bring it back up. Soft break. Torso remains vertical. This is not a squat. This is more of a dancer's plie, but it's demi. It's very small. Heels stay on the floor for this part, but we're just going to go down and up. We do a soft break in the knees and pull up nice and long in the legs. So soft break in the knees and pull up in the legs. One of the key points to do and to keep this safe for your knees is that when you are in the bent leg position, your knees should be pointed directly over your toes. And if your toes are pointed out too far, then your knees are going to roll in, and that will cause pain later. So I've had some questions about knees, and I'd like to address that. Knees can begin to hurt because the surrounding muscles have lost their strength. So we're going to do some gentle exercises to strengthen the muscles that surround the knees. And there have been studies that show that gentle bending of the knees is more healing with knee pain than holding your knees stationary. Now, of course, unless you have an injury and your doctor has told you otherwise, and you have a real limited mobility. So what we're doing is a gentle lubrication of the knee joint, but we're working on stretching the quadriceps, which support your knees. So the safety here, again, it's very important that your knees are directly over your toes. So good alignment. Knees are not made to turn right and left. And that's when some of those terrible football injuries occur with the lower leg twisting and the upper leg not, because knees aren't meant to do that. So just straight down and up. Sorry, I did quite a bit of talking there. Down and up. And now we're going to just lift our heels off the floor and down. So to do this correctly and safely, your knees are going to be in a straight position, not locked, not forced back, but the feeling is more like a lengthening in the legs. So as you do the bend, lengthen your legs back to the fully standing position and then just lift the heels slightly off the floor. Bend slightly, lift very small. So it's a very soft break in the knees and a gentle heel lift off the floor. And if you're really testing your balance and you're doing this without holding on, it's very important that you make sure your alignment is really good. Don't forget that we are also breathing normally and naturally. Our shoulders are pressed down, our neck is long. We have some space in between our pelvic bones and our lower rib cage. That gives us a nice tight core as we go down and heel lift. One more. Very nice. And now to stretch out those calves, we're going to turn toward the chair. Let me pull this back so you can see my foot. I'm going to take one foot. I'm going to start with my front foot toward you so you can see me. Heel on the floor, toes up along the leg of the chair, and then I just press my body into the chair, lengthening this leg and feeling that stretch up the back of my calf muscle. Bend the other knee so you can release the stretch. Straighten the knee and lean the body in toward the chair, which accelerates the stress or intensifies the stretch. Release the other leg at the knee, bending to release that stretch through your calf. Press again into the chair. Let's switch feet. Heel on the floor, toes up along the leg of the chair. The other supporting leg is bent, and you just straighten that leg and press into the leg of the chair, giving your calf a nice stretch. Release and bend and 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 stretch. Let's march it out a little bit. I did want to do one set of squats using the chair. I'm going to press the chair back here against the wall so you can see me. All I'm going to do is stand right here in front of the chair, and I'm going to sit down and stand up. So we're going to sit and stand. Now, some people have difficulty sitting and getting out of the chair without using their hands on the arms of the chair or on the seat of the chair. So you do what you need to do. Another option might be to hold on to the back and straddle the chair, and you could sit down and stand up, but that doesn't really quite give us the muscle activation that I'm looking for here. I just want to provide this exercise in a safe format. So we're going to do our sit down and stand up and just barely touch the chair. So sit down and stand up. And if you're really not comfortable sitting and you're unable to get out of the chair without using your hands, maybe just take a slight bend to the knees and don't even worry about the sitting. If you happen to have a chair with arms, you could probably use the arms to give yourself a little leverage. So here's the full exercise. Sit down and stand up. Sit down and stand up. We're just going to do 2 more. And here's the last one. And now I want to do a stretch that uses the chair. So we're going to sit in the chair, and I want you to cross one leg over the other. Now, here's an alternative. This is a tough movement and does require a lot of hip mobility. If you're not there yet, just cross your ankles. But what's important is that one knee is facing directly forward out of your hip, and the other leg is going to the side. So this knee is pointing out a little bit more to the side. I have my foot crossed over my ankle, and I'm just going to go forward and feel that stretch up along the side of the leg where the knee is going out toward the side. Now, obviously, if you have that leg crossed over and you do this, this is a very intense stretch up across that side of your hip. But lower down here is probably more comfortable for many. And that is fine. You do where you feel comfortable. And forward and back. Let's try the other leg. So now we have the other leg, knee faces directly forward. The other leg crosses over at the ankle. The knee is going out toward the side. And I'm going to bend or fold my body from the hips over top of the knee that goes forward. So that's where my lean is aimed, right here. As I hinge over that leg, I am feeling that stretch up the side and in toward the back of my other hip, the hip where the knee is bent out to the side. And forward and up. And forward and up. Nice. All right, we're going to stand and do just a couple of hamstring stretches using the back of the chair for support. So I'm going to face the chair, and I just want to fold forward. I'm keeping my legs, my knees are softly bent. So they're not, straight and pressed to the back, but there's a soft bend here. And I'm coming forward. This is different than the exercises when we did the good mornings. We were really working on hinging our hips. This is working to feel the stretch up the back of your legs. So fold forward over that chair in a comfortable way. And we're just going to hold this stretch and feel that up the back of your hamstrings. And release using the chair to press yourselves back up into an upright position. We're going to cross one leg over the other. Can you see my feet? Cross over, and let's do that same stretch. This is a little bit more intense, and you're going to feel it on the leg that is the standing leg, not the crossed over leg. I'm just kind of hanging out here on the back of the chair so I can feel that stretch all the way up through my hamstring. And let's release slowly, pushing back up into upright. Take the back leg, cross it over in front, and lean forward, hinging from the hips, feeling that stretch. Stretches should be held stationary, not bouncing into them. Just hold at the area where you are feeling a little bit of that stretch in the muscle. Just hold it steady. Make sure you're breathing while you're holding a stretch. And let's release gently, pressing back up into a standing position. And we're going to do our final stretching and meditation. So standing here with legs slightly apart, let's inhale up. Reaching up overhead, looking at the sun. I think for many of you, at least on the East Coast, we have a sunny day today, although it's very cold and quite windy. Let's look up at the sun and exhale. So we inhale in through our nose, exhale out through the mouth, blow out, making a sound through your lips. One more, inhale. And blow out. And here's the last one. Inhale. And exhale. Make sure you empty all the way, all that air, get it all out, blow, 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 and whoo, back to breathing normally. Normal and natural rhythm to your breathing right now. I just want you to fixate on a spot in front of you. If you're standing, I don't want you to close your eyes and risk falling. So just look at a spot on the floor in front of you or the wall. Focus on your breathing. Feel your breath. Inhale and exhale in a normal, natural rhythm. I want you to just think to yourself how wonderful and grateful we all are that today is Friday. We can celebrate that we have a weekend ahead. If you have worked out with me 3 or 5 days, it's great to have these 2 days off so that your muscles can recuperate. It's always good to have rest days in between our workouts, which is why my 5 days are different. So you're not going to be working the same thing every day, and rest of certain muscle groups is kind of built into the program. So you're breathing and you're relaxed through your shoulders, across your chest, into your upper back. And you're feeling grateful and joyful that you were able to get up, show up, and join me for today's class. I'm grateful that you are all here to work out with me. I love this time in the morning. This is important for self-care. Remember that you're no good to anybody else if you're not taking care of yourself first. So give yourself some credit this morning for taking this time and focusing on your health, your wellness, your body, your strength, your balance, your flexibility. We've looked at all of those different things today, and I am grateful for you for coming. And thank you again for joining us today. I wish everybody a great day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you. I'm going to sign out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye.
Oh.